Okay, this is day number, I haven't a clue. Let's go and have a look what's going on. They're all merging into one these days now. So this morning we told them the size of the windows. So they've marked out each wall where there's a window with fishing wire. You can just see that hopefully. So they've got their line at the right place, which I need to check just to make sure. But they've got their line to build up the blocks against. So the main bedroom has now got a window formed. Got two ladies helping today. They're obviously wanting to crack on a bit, because they didn't do a full day yesterday. They didn't do any block work yesterday. So we've got a window here in the living room, and we've got the start of a window in the kitchen. So yeah, we should see some pretty good progress today, and we have got the electrician coming in the next couple of days. There's a 5-day public holiday at the moment, including a weekend, and so he's going to come and see if he can do some of the work in that time, because it's extra to his day job apparently, which is as an electrician, by the way. So I've checked all the window openings and they're all spot on to allow for the not only the window, but 1 centimetre of gap for the window fitters to get the window adjusted correctly, and also 3 centimetres, 1.5 centimetres either side, which is for the render. Now the only problem we've got is that they didn't ask about this, this gap where the patio door was going, and I wasn't here yesterday, and they just went ahead and put a beam across, and they've made an assumption that it's the same height as the door frames, and it isn't. Unfortunately, it's slightly bigger. So we've got a frame that is 2 centimetres too low, a block and beam frame that's 2 centimetres too low for the door we're proposing to buy. So we've got a couple of choices to get over this little problem. The first one is that we've got the feelers out for a local company who do UPVC, and Suntory says that they seem to be good quality, and they do made to measure, and they've already said that if we order with them, they will actually come along and measure the window sizes for each room, just to make sure, just in case there's any small discrepancies. So they could obviously make this patio door to the correct size, which, as I say, would be 2 centimetres smaller than if we bought it from Global House or Tai What So Do. So Suntory is finding out the prices, because although she's reasonably happy about the quality, and she's spoken to the lady, and the lady obviously knows her stuff and has even given Suntory some advice about how to build the house to make the window fitting easier. She doesn't know what the prices are yet. We don't know if she's going to be massively more expensive than the off-the-shelf windows and doors. The second alternative is to hack 2 centimetres of the beam off at the bottom, which I would think is quite possible, because it's only 6.5 centimetres thick, and using a large cutter from either side, following a red line, a twanged line, should be quite possible. I doubt that the reinforcement in there goes right down to the bottom, so that's an option if the prices for a made-to-measure door are well out of line with what we can get from Global House. Coming outside now, I've been flattening off, levelling off the back here. There's still a little bit to do. I was doing it yesterday and I pulled a back muscle and really knackered myself actually. I'm still hurting quite a bit, so I don't know if I'll be doing any digging today, but it's not an urgent job. It's just that I'd like to find the levels around the house, so any spare soil here is being put down this side. We haven't done the CPAC yet because we really are in the middle of a stormy season and we're getting really heavy rain for most of the night, and we're also getting rain showers in the daytime. So the last few days since we put this shuttering up, we haven't had any opportunity to actually have a good dry day to mix up the CPAC, which we're going to be doing by hand with some help. So that'll take quite a while to do, but also because we're mixing it by hand, it will go off slower. The stuff that comes in a big lorry goes off fairly quickly. You can walk on it after about 2 or 3 hours, but the stuff we mix will go off slower and is more vulnerable to rain, I guess. So that'll get done, I think, in the next couple of days. It seems to be a bit drier today, although last night it just rained and rained and rained, same as every night for the last 5 nights really. The block work being done is looking very good. Some might say it looks a bit rough around the edges with the odd gap here, there and there where there's very little mortar in there or not very well finished. But in fact I think that's essential when you're building a house that's going to be rendered on the outside, because all these gaps, all these imperfections that are on a regular basis are going to provide a good key for the render to grab hold of and fill into, making sure that it's less likely to fall off. If this is a perfectly finished and smooth wall like you get with brick built houses in the UK, for example, where you're actually looking at the brick and the mortar joint as a finished product, rendering that is extremely difficult because it's just too perfect. So I like the way that it's got plenty of holes and gaps and rough edges. It gives me confidence that the final finish is going to be lasting, because we've seen from the garage that the final finish that they produce is actually very, very good. Incidentally, it's just one last thing with regard to this door that I've noticed, which I'm quite pleased about. This is quite a span, it's a 2-metre span, and traditionally I would expect a reinforced concrete beam to be placed across there, but they don't do that here. They make their own, and obviously they're not stressed or anything. They are reinforced, but they're not stressed. So what they've done to make sure that this doesn't basically collapse or bend is that they've supported it in 2 places with steel, which is looped over steel and in the roof. So if you can see the steel going up there and there, so that's hooked over at the top. I don't know, but I think they flattened the steel off, or they might have welded it on the top. Anyway, that's up there permanently and they will build blocks around it. So that's going to help support that beam, even though it's got reinforcing in it. And hopefully in my lifetime we won't have any problems with that bowing and creating a problem with the UPVC door. Well, I can't resist it. I've got myself a chair and a drink, and I'm sitting on my balcony area, my patio. What do you call it? Terrace? Terrace area. So I'm in the middle of the building site, but I just wanted to sit here and take in the view. And here is the view from sitting position.